Hello there, all fresh and dirty bottoms. This is Fresh Bottom back with part 2 of our look at the RLCS 2024 decals. If you missed it, part 1 we looked at the EU and minor regions. Today we're going to take a look at the North American region. Thanks to everybody that watched part 1. If you enjoy part 2, please hit the like button. It really helps me out a lot, especially with me being such a new content creator. Subscribe to the channel, and if there's nothing else, let's get started. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Here we go. All right, we have now made it to the big boys, North America. So let's get into it. We're going to start with Dignitas. Oh, man. Holy. I got to tell you guys, I love this decal. The gradient from yellow, gold, all the way to the back with pink. And then on the spoiler, it's got the pink going into the yellow in the center. This is pretty amazing. The Dignitas logo, I've always thought, is one of the better ones. I think it's the subtlety of it. It makes it the simplicity of it makes it one of the best. And add that to the color scheme of this. And the kind of the pattern in the back of the colors, especially on the front here, I think this is one of, if not the best decals that we have seen so far. This is fantastic. I really like this one a lot, and I really do think that this is definitely one that I will purchase. So I think this one's going to be our first S tier. And with Dignitas, we have our first S grade. Love it so much. It's great. The color scheme is great. The subtlety of the logos is great. Love it so much. Up next, G2 Esports. Let's take a look at this one here. Okay, so going into the decal release, we did see a concept of this that was different than the final product. We saw that on the sides of the car, on either side under the stride, and then under this side they had a design that had a samurai on it. It looked really nice. It worked really well with the colors and the pattern that went along with it. Now that it's been released and it doesn't have the samurai, I have to be honest, that makes this design much less appealing to me. I think it kind of loses a lot of its swagger, if you will, by having the samurai on there. I think because they don't have the samurai on there, the color scheme of the purples and the pinks and the kind of the light blues doesn't work well with what G2 kind of is all about. I think it works better with the reds and the blacks that they have. So I think because of that, this one's going to get a lesser grade than it probably would have with the samurai on the side. So let's see where this one's going to end up on our list. For G2, if they would have had the samurai on the side, this would be at least a solid B, but because it doesn't, I'm gonna have to give it a C, and a low C at that. All right, up next we've got Gen G Mobile. Whoa! Excuse me. Take a drink here. Oh god. Okay. Alright. Okay. Gen G Mobile Racing. Alright. So Gen G Mobile Racing here, we've kind of got to look here a little bit like Vitality with the color scheme. Ooh. A little bit too much soda there. Ooh. I do like that it kind of has a Bengal tiger kind of look to it. This is definitely one where Anodized would have made this decal much better than it actually is. I don't believe that this one becomes even as high as a B tier because of it. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's great. Again, if they had just allowed the anodized finishes, I think a lot of these would be a lot better than they were. So we'll go ahead and get this ranked on our tier list and we'll move on. The Gen G one is totally fine. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad. So I'm going to give it a C. Up next, Luminosity. Now, going into this decal, we heard from people within the Luminosity organization. This is where we found out that the anodized finishes were not going to be allowed. They made their decal with anodized finish in mind. And so now that it has come out without that, and it really kind of looks more matte than it does anything, this decal ain't it. And I believe because of that, this decal is going to end up at least 2 tiers lower than it would have been. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh. All right, let's move on. Unfortunately, with not having the anodized paint finish, the luminosity decal gets a very low grade for me, which is unfortunate because I think this could be as high as an A if it did have the anodized finish. But unfortunately, because of it, I'm going to have to give it a D. Up next, we've got M80. The team of AJ, Jurius, and Nas. This is a fantastic decal. The M80 logo is a very, very good logo. I really like it a lot. The M80 side decal here is very nice. Logo is very nice. The gradient from green to kind of lime green into yellow is really great, especially coming out of the black. I think this decal, because of it, gives it a heavy but fast look to it and probably a feel to it that I really like. This one's going to definitely be high on the list. Let's see where it ends up. M80 becomes our second S tier. I think it's a really great logo. I think the gradient from black all the way up to yellow is great. So we're going to give it S. All right, up next, we've got NRG. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So you know how when you're traveling on the road and you're on the highway and you've got to go to the bathroom and it's an emergency. So you have to stop at a rest area along the side of the highway. It's 9:30 at night. You know it's not going to be good. You get there, you go inside, you open the stall, and it looks like 500 truck drivers have just massacred this thing. There's doo-doo everywhere, urine everywhere. It's horrible. You're about to throw up. And you decide, you know what? I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to get back in my car, and I'm going to hope there's a gas station. And on the way to the gas station, you see the exit where the gas station is. Maybe it's a Quick Trip. You're about to get in the gas station, and then you crap your pants. C for sure. All right, up next, we've got OG. This is my org that I'm following this year. The great Noli, J-Naps, and Com all getting together after getting tossed off of their teams. So let's take a look at the decal and see what we think. All right, let's see. Okay, I have to admit, this is disappointing. I like the OG logo with the Red Bull on the front. I do. But I feel like the light blue with the darker blue design here, I feel like it's boring. I feel like with the matte finish, it's boring. I don't know that anodized would actually make this any better. It might. I don't think it would. I just think this is boring. I think this is last minute. I don't think a lot of time was put in to consider the type of decal maybe they wanted to put out. This is very disappointing, unfortunately. Let's check out where we're going to put it on the list now. I feel bad doing it because OG is my team, but I'm going to have to give it a D grade. All right, up next, Shopify Rebellion. All right, so Shopify recently went to a more green pattern with their marketing, and so they're using that in this decal. I do like the lime green with the black a lot. I don't know that I like the kind of tiger pattern over here, kind of in between the lines here. I almost feel like they might have been better off just leaving that part out of it, leaving that part black, using the anodized finish, and giving it that glow that I think would have worked really well. It would have kind of given it a more of an ooze type feeling that looked really good. It would probably give it kind of a heavy look, which would be good for something like the Fennec or the Dominus. But on here, on this Octane, I don't know that I like it. I feel like it's very bare on the top and too busy on the side. So let's see where this ranks for us. The Shopify one is fine. I believe I'd give it a bigger grade or a higher grade if it didn't have the busyness of kind of the leopard sides. So I'm going to have to give it a C. Up next, we have Space Station Gaming. Now, as you know, if you are a follower of Rocket League, almost universally, Space Station Gaming's decals are universally praised for their design, the color scheme. They always look great. Pros like to use them even if they're not on Space Station. So let's see if this one is no less of a great decal like the rest of them. Already, I can tell you, yes, this is amazing. Like, they tend to go with the same design types with the Space Station on the side here and the Spaceman on the front, which is a great logo, always has been. And then they go with kind of the yellows with the stars. But this one, it appears they're going for more of a maybe kind of a gravity jump look. And because of that, it kind of gives it a really nice speed look. It feels like you're going to be very fast using this decal. The colors, the yellow and the black, really mesh really well. I bet you again, I've said it many times with a lot of these logos, if it was anodized, it would take this even to a higher level, but I think this is going to be right there with Dignitas in terms of ranking, so let's see how we're going to rank it. Space Station once again impresses with their decals, so this is definitely an S tier. S tier for Space Station. I think it's definitely the second best decal, and that's no surprise considering their past. And finally, the TSM decal. Let's take a look at it and see what we think. Alright, so first of all, we've got the reds and the blacks with the TSM logo right here on the hood. It's very bare on the hood and the back and the top of the car, which I don't know how I feel about it necessary, but I have to say I love the dragon logo on the side of this. This is a very nice dragon. It fits really well on the side of the car. I like how it goes over on the kind of the wings of the car. I think if you're obviously you don't see the side of your car too much while you're driving, but I bet you with the way that the dragon is presented on either side, it gives it a look of being very fast. I don't know what I would put on top of the car to give it a little bit more on the top, but the sides with the dragon really give it a nice look. I bet anodized it would look fantastic. This is one of the better ones, I believe. So let's go ahead and get it ranked. And finally, TSM, I'm going to have to give this one an A. I like the dragon on the side. It would be an S tier if the top and the hood had a little bit more on it. But other than that, it's a really great logo. So there you have it. Our S tier, our number 1 is going to be the Dignitas. Our number 2 is Space Station. And number 3 is M80. I think overall, the decals are totally fine. There's not one in it that is a Vitality from last year or maybe a Renegades from a couple of years ago that are just outright terrible. But unfortunately, the fact that there was the promise for anodized finishes and then they didn't pay those off really disappoints in the long run with these. And as you can see, there are a lot that are in the average C category for me. And overall, I think that while there are a few good ones, most of it is just kind of meh. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for our ranking of the 2024 season decals. I hope you guys enjoyed this video a lot. I had a lot of fun making it. Hit the like button. Please subscribe. Let's see if we can get this video to 10 likes, and if you get that to 10 likes, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'll be giving away a free Twisty Straw. I hope you guys have a great night. This is Fresh Bottoms saying, keep your bottoms fresh.